Right, hello there. Welcome to today's briefing. It's Friday, 26th of June. And I'd like to send this message to years 7 to 11. I'm conscious that the last presentation I gave, the last message I gave was 19 minutes. I promise this one won't be as long, so just bear with me, hang in there. There's a few things I need to talk to you about. To begin with, I'll start with year 11 first. So year 11 parents, students, you can listen to this part of the video message, and then if you want to go elsewhere, leave it, by all means do. But just to begin with regard to year 11, two things. Firstly, delighted that so many students have bought hoodies. I think that between up to 75 students out of 100 have bought hoodies. That's great. If any who haven't, want to do so, that you still have the opportunity, still have that offer, and please contact your progress leader, Mr. Wilson. The second thing I want to mention to year 11 is perhaps, well, it's more important, which is results day. Now, I said several weeks ago that we would be emailing out results. That's something that secondary schools across the city had talked about doing. However, the easing of restrictions announced this week, and also the fact that this is a rite of passage for you. Why shouldn't you have the same opportunity that every other child has had to collect their GCSEs? So what we're planning to do is to allow students to come in and collect their results on results day in August. We'll have to do it in an organised way. We'll have to do it in a staggered way. You won't all be able to come in at the same time, but you will be invited in. And also, if you need to speak to anyone about your grades or take any advice about the way forward and so forth, we will make that available to you. But we want it to be a positive thing. We want it to be a day for you to remember. That's really important. So that's my message to year 11s. Thank you for listening, and I'll move on now to years 7 to 10. Right, years 7 to 10, what I'd like to talk to you about is online support and September. So if I start with online support, over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks in fact, what we are planning to do is offer online support in two different ways. The first way is that teachers will make themselves available at specific times, normally when they would normally teach your child or you the student, on your timetable. They will make themselves available on the Google Chat live stream. So it's a text conversation. They'll make themselves available one lesson that week for 30 minutes to answer questions, discuss with you any queries, in any way they can help you with the work that you're doing at home. So that every teacher will commit to that over the next 3 weeks. And I want parents to know that as much as students. Alongside that, some teachers for some classes will offer audio-visual contact through Zoom. The way we've organised it is that we can we can use Zoom through Google Classroom. So the children are invited through their Google Classroom and through their school email, and then we can use the functionality of Zoom to offer these sessions. We've started it already. We've been testing it and trialling it with specific groups this week, and now we are going to offer it more widely for year 10, but also for other year groups as well. So we will do as much as we can over the next 3 weeks to offer that support. Right, with that in mind, what's really important is that this afternoon I will send out a letter electronically. Attached to it will be this message. Attached to it will be the code of conduct, which parents, you need to agree and acknowledge and resubmit through Google form. It's really important that we have your consent to allow your children to use this functionality, to have access to this. So please, will you turn that form around straight away with a click of a button, if not today, over the weekend, so that on Monday we have a good idea, a clear idea of who's given consent and who has not. It's not something that you opt out of. We have to ask you to opt into. So please do that. That's really important. It's also important because you may be thinking, well, there's 3 weeks to go. You know, this has been a long time coming. Yeah, I agree with that. But for me now, the next 3 weeks is about, yes, providing access between teachers and teachers and students, but it's about next year. And if we can get this ready and have your consent now, then we don't have to do it next year, in case there is a second peak, in case there is a local lockdown, those sorts of things. So if we can do that now, that work is done, and we can be ready for the new academic year. I also think moving forward that we'll be able to use this functionality in other ways. For example, revision sessions over the holidays, those sorts of things. For example, year 11, May half term, or Easter revision sessions. We'll be able to do things remotely during those times. So it's a new way of working. So please support us with that. Please give your consent quickly so that we can move this forward. Right, I said I'd mention September. Some of you may have heard the Downing Street announcement last Friday, which was to effect, say, every child in every year, every day in September will come to school. Clearly, there is a lot of thought that needs to go into that. I'm not going to talk in any detail about that because I know that discussions are going on that between between the government, Department for Education, school leaders, about how is that going to work. But the principle is there, the underlying message is there, is that the intention is for all children to return in September. And I really hope you do. I really do. It would be great to get back to normal, the new normal. So I will send another message to you in the next couple of weeks once I have further detail about what that's going to look like. Okay, but that is the intention. And with that in mind, with regard to September, the start of term, the first day, I think the first Monday back will be a staff training day as normal. The second day will be for year 7 only. And the third day, the Wednesday, will be for all year groups. That is the same as, and that's been agreed by secondary schools across the city. Okay, so we are talking to other schools, and we're essentially providing the same offer. It's really important that we give the new intake a day in school to familiarise themselves. Okay, I'm going to leave that now. I'm going to leave that message now at this point. Thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend, and I'll be in contact soon. Stay safe and all the best. Bye for now.